55. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye are passed over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and quite pluck down all their high places. And ye shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land, and dwell therein, for I have given you the land to possess it. And ye shall divide the land by lot for an inheritance among your families. And to the more ye shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer ye shall give the less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falleth. According to the tribes of your fathers ye shall inherit. But if ye will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein ye dwell." In Deuteronomy, it lists the tribes that the Israelites fought against. It lists the ones that they had fought when they came into the land of Israel. But in the list, it says that they didn't fully drive them out of the land. They still allowed the enemies to reside in their promised land, in the Israelites' promised land. Judges 1:28 says, "They put them under tribute and did not utterly drive them out." The Israelites stopped caring about what God had commanded. They just figured, you know what, we've been in war for a long time. This has been hard. I've come this far. We've already made it to the promised land. It's okay. We're tired of this. We'll push them to the edges, and some will even live next to. It's okay. We can control them. We've got them under subjection. And because the Israelites didn't drive them out, the gods of those nations stayed in the promised land. The molten images, the images of the idols from those other tribes, they stayed in the promised land. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I've heard from God a lot since coming here during Landmark, during these Bible searches with Brother Sanders. And God's shown me incredible things. He's shown me things He wants me to do, things He wants me to take home to my church and to my district. But how many times do we do just that? God says, hey, you need to remove this from your life. It can't stay. I've got great things for you, but those things, you've got to kick them out. You've got to take them out of your life completely. They'll hinder you. They'll be a thorn.
Hallelujah.
Get it all the way out. We think we're so wise and we're so great. Hey, God, it's okay. I've got this. I can control it. I can do it in lesser amounts. I've got it right here by me. I've got it under control, God. I'll just get rid of it for a week or something. I'll keep it for now, and then later I'll go back to it, because by then I'll be okay. I'll have gotten through it.
Amen.
I remember when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, I would go to youth camps and I'd be in the altars crying, praying to God, God, I want something from you. I want to do things for you. I want to be a servant for you. And snot's running down my nose, tears and everything. And I'm standing in the altar, I'm like, God, I really want something, God. And He says, okay, well, give this up and give that up. And don't hang out with those people anymore. Don't do this anymore. And I'm like, God, I'll do anything. And He's like, I'm serious. Do this, this, and this. Give up this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, I'll do anything but that. And even back then, I'd feel God tell me to do it. And I'd just say, well, God, okay, fine, I'll do it. I'd be in the altar for a while, and eventually I'd break through. I'd be like, okay, God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get rid of it. But then later on, when the fire had faded, and I was home in my room or just around the house or outside, that fire wouldn't be there anymore, and I'd have to make a decision. Do I want to keep it out, or do I want to let it back in? It's okay to listen to this song just once. It's okay to watch that movie. It's okay, I can control it. If it's bad, I'll turn it off. At some point, the Israelites grew comfortable with what they were supposed to drive out. In 2 Kings 13, 18 through 19, Elisha tells the king of Israel to beat the ground, and he only does it 3 times. And Elisha said, if you'd done it more, you would have wiped out Syria. But now, you're going to be under subjection to them in a little bit. If you had completely sold out to what I told you to do, you could have conquered the problems you're going to face in the future. But you thought it was unnecessary. You didn't see the whole picture, so you decided to draw the line and say, I'm going to go this far because I can't see all this, so I'm just going to go to here. God wants us to have complete dominion, but sometimes we'll settle for partial. Those little things we think aren't a big deal now are going to be a big thorn in our side when we're a pastor one day, when we're evangelizing, when we're trying to reach souls. What would have happened if Israel had completely driven out the enemy rather than get comfortable with them? Once the Israelites were in the promised land, they took for granted what God had given them and forgot about what God had promised them. I believe we're all in God's promise here in Bible college, you guys. God's got incredible things for all of us in this class. And God called us here for a reason. We've made the sacrifices to live in the promised land. We've made the sacrifices. We've wandered through the desert to make it to the promised land. But there's still some things we've got to drive out of the promised land. There's things we've got to let go of. So what is it? What is it that we're hanging on to that's keeping us from going deeper with God? Hebrews 12:1 says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us."